thank the gentleman. The gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Rose, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman, and I want to thank Chairman McHenry for holding this hearing, and thank you, Secretary Fudge, for being with us. And I hope that this is a sign that we can work together, because certainly, as we've heard today, we've got lots of work to do on the housing front in this country. Housing affordability has been a serious issue across the country, and one that has not left my constituents back in the 6th District of Tennessee unaffected. I believe that my colleagues on both sides of the aisle are aware of the magnitude of this problem and desire to solve it with a cooperative attitude. One solution that I have signed on to and believe in is Representative LaHood's Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act. This bipartisan solution would expand the Affordable Housing Tax Credit Program to support the financing of nearly 2 million homes. I truly believe in this piece of legislation and hope that the rest of my colleagues can join me in supporting it as well. Secretary Fudge, you twice co-sponsored the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act as a member of Congress. Do you still agree with me that this bill needs to be passed?
Yes.
Well, thank you. I hope we can work together to move that along. Another pathway to producing affordable homes is manufactured housing, and I was encouraged to hear you bring that up earlier in your testimony. In 2022, the price for an average manufactured home was $127,250, while the average price of a site-built home was around $413,000. I am proud to say that in my district, 10.2% of all the occupied housing units are manufactured housing. Although I hope to see that figure grow, I am concerned by the lack of progress in the rulemaking by the department regarding this industry. As you know, Secretary, in July 2022, HUD announced a proposed rulemaking that would be the largest set of changes to the housing code in over 2 decades. The proposed rule would have brought HUD code in line with the more recent manufactured housing industry standards. Although the industry has continued to innovate, the lack of progress on the rulemaking side has placed a large regulatory burden on manufactured homes. Seeing that it's been 18 months since the proposed rulemaking notice, why hasn't the rule been finalized?
Let me first say I am a big advocate of manufactured housing. We are working with our FHA and with FHFA to make that financing easier. But we're not the only agency that has authority over it. And so there are some concerns from energy and other places that are holding us up. And until we can come to some agreement, that is in fact the holdup. It's not necessarily just us.
Okay, and you've foretold what I'm going to go to next. I understand that under your leadership, HUD has prioritized implementing energy efficiency and environmental policies. However, I fear that that goal may have consumed more of your time than perhaps is desirable. The Manufactured Housing Consensus Committee rejected the energy efficient standards from the Department of Energy, as you're aware, because of the impact they fear they would have on home affordability. As you focus on these standards, how are you balancing HUD's obligations to preserve home affordability, at the same time also increasing American home ownership?
That's a part of our mission, so I certainly support your position on this, but you know federal government as well as I do. There are certain things that we all have to come to some agreement on, but what I will say to you is that I will go back and try to push further to see if we can bring some consensus sooner.
The Manufactured Housing Consensus Committee also found that the Department of Energy understated the cost of the energy standards rule on consumers purchasing manufactured homes. Is HUD performing its own cost-benefit analysis to ensure affordability is considered along with important energy efficiency improvements?
Let me get back to you on that because I don't know the answer. So
okay.
I want to tell you something wrong.
Well, I appreciate that. In the few remaining moments I have felt your pain and know the concern that we all have on both sides of the aisle about getting federal workers back to work. And I know that's been a concern of yours, and I appreciate that. I hope that you'll communicate if there are impediments that we need to remove as members of Congress that would help to encourage that. I hope you'll let us know. And my time has expired, and I yield back. Thank you, Secretary.
I thank the gentleman.